in my microphone, it always switches the export, like the output to that. It's so strange. How are you?
Okay.
Yeah?
I got derailed on my garage and filming project
Mm-hmm.
because on Monday I fell off of a porch and I landed on concrete with the side of my head, and
Oh my goodness.
I ended up in the ER getting stitches, and actually they glued it, which I'm glad because I don't have as bad a scar. But yeah, I'm bruised and battered and achy, and
Oh, is maybe I'm now that you say it, I see maybe a little bit of
yeah,
swelling.
it's
It's
like
coming down. Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, now I see it. Oh my
it's
gosh. Did you
and
have like
it's hard to lift my arms. It hurts. So like I haven't been out in the garage doing anything.
life life happens? We have to just give
Yeah.
ourselves that grace. I'm so glad you're okay. Did you
Yeah.
have a concussion or anything?
No, I didn't pass out. It was pretty startling laying there, and head
Yeah.
wounds bleed a lot. So you see this blood
Oh
coming in
my
your
gosh.
hair, and you're like, and I was at a house, someone else's house, where the woman is an invalid. Like she's uses a walker and she's stuck in a chair. And then my grandson, who is 9, was there. And I knew like
Oh,
I got to get myself back up and in the house because they can't come out here and help me.
yeah.
But it worked
Wow.
out. I'm okay.
I'm so glad you're okay.
Mhm.
That can be really traumatic. I don't know if you know, but I got thrown off a horse last year. I
Ooh.
broke my back and I've never broken anything in my life. And yeah, it wasn't fun. So things like that, hospital visits,
Mm.
aren't fun. I'm so glad you're good. My husband cut his ear recently. Um, I always keep a stack of hemostop at home. I don't know if you know what that is. It basically stops superficial bleeding like right away. And if it's deep, it can stop it and you can get to the hospital. But I always have that in my camp kit or my emergency kit because it's a
Yeah.
powder and it just basically like stops the bleeding.
Hmm.
So something to look at
Yeah.
on the road just as an emergency. Okay. Well, I'm glad
Yeah.
you're good now
Yep.
and healing. So, how are things otherwise?
Pretty good. I'm staying out of the whole negative that comes at you. Like, just forget it. Like, just go live a normal, boring life.
Mm,
And it's like, no, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna do the garage. Maybe it won't get done until sometime in June. But I'm staying in the positive, like intentionally making sure the self-talk
hmm
keeps the momentum going. Um,
Do you want to dig into that a little bit?
mm, yeah, well, Ben might have questions too, but um, yeah, I just feel in this push-pull between like, just you don't gotta have a YouTube channel. You don't gotta do that. Just plant a small garden in your backyard, babysit people's kids, and just live a relaxed few more decades and then be done. And like help a little ways here and there in your life where you can. Like, and sometimes
Mhm.
that just feels like that would be so refreshing and so much easier. And, at the same time, like my wish is always, I don't want to have a bunch of regrets at the end of my life. I don't want to have regrets at the end of my life. And so I think that's what keeps push pulling me out of easy mode.
And what are those regrets that you think you might have that keeps pulling you back into this?
Well, and so then that adds another whole layer because as a spiritual person who like was actually raised pretty traditional Christian, and that's still my roots, that's still the direction that I look when I'm talking about source and all that. I'm very much more open to different vocabulary. We're all speaking about the same thing. And so in the sense of like, and I'm not sure what my regrets would be because I really don't know what happens after this. Nobody has a real clear view of like, what's this and what does this life mean towards that? And so then you're faced with all the existential questions, which I have always asked deeply my whole life, in which I feel that alone adds another burden to the layer of everything because you can't just be casual because there's something more. And it's like, so my regrets are like I don't want to miss what this life was for. And so as I make peace with that, it's definitely different now in my 50s than it was in my 20s, and I see the progression. And so I'm like thinking, if the same type of progression happens, I should be really in a good place by the time I'm 80. But yeah, even I feel like even just sorting through all that, that's another whole YouTube channel. That's another whole blog besides the home reno.
Totally.
And they're kind of metaphors of each other, actually.
Mhm. And there's no reason why you can't do both if that's what is coming up for you through that, because that's the thing that probably more people are connected to. We're
Right.
all living our lives on this path and through our experiences and what time is left. What are we going to do with our time? These questions while we're renovating, like this is what life is. So
Yeah.
this is multiple aspects of you coming together that you could share that bring, you know, it doesn't have to be separate either. I mean, it could be, if we look on the technical side, it could be separate playlists or something. But if we look at it as a whole, your YouTube channel, your brand, like this is you, that's what makes you different than someone who's just doing renos off camera.
Right.
You're decluttering your garage and you are sharing what's happening. And someone's going, I love what she talks about, yet I'm also cleaning up. Do you know what I mean? That's life. How inspiring is that to help someone feel not so alone in their experience? And
Yeah.
that's value that you're giving. That's personal to you, but unique to you. So I think that's something of value that you can offer to your content, like not to be afraid to maybe go there if that's what's
Yeah.
coming up for you. Because
Yeah.
what is decluttering? When we're decluttering, you know, it makes us feel better, right? In our mind, it's a reflection of our inner landscape. It can be anyway. I know I have to
Right.
clean my house to like sit down and do work because then I feel okay, I can breathe.
Mm,
So that it could be a metaphor for what's happening internally for you as you're physically
right.
decluttering. It
For
could
sure.
be put together really seamlessly and it sounds really good. Like it adds a whole other layer of depth to what you're sharing with your audience.
Right. Well, and I've had the domain name alifeunstuck.com for like 5 years. And that
That's a
really,
good one.
that's a broad cover for the kind of
Yeah.
things that, yeah, I want to do.
And you could that's a really good brand. Yeah, on so many levels, right? And you
Mhm.
can have different
Yeah.
branches. I want to kind of circle back to, hi Ben, we see you. Um,
Hi.
I want to kind of go back to that for Lisa Ann, just that, the push pull. I have a question that came up is, have you been at a point in your life where you weren't doing, um, this and you were living simply? Was there a time where that was how you were living and then you felt the call
Mm.
to create?
Um, yeah, good question. The existential questions have always been there, I think, since I was like 5. But as far as the switch to like, hey, let's just have a blog and do all that. Um, I think it happened when I quit my corporate office job and just had that what would be considered a normal American life. Um, yeah, probably then. Like first there was a divorce after 23 years and we had 5 kids. And then there was going through that season of me having to work full time for about 5 to 7 years. And then that totally burned me out. And I kind of planned for 18 months and got built up a savings account. And then I just quit with no plan. And then I kind of like ran into on the online space, like, hey, this could be an opportunity. Like, I love to write and I could do this. And then right after I had quit and discovered this new feeling of doing something online to make income that would give me flexible schedule, then COVID hit. So then I was at home all the time, dug into online more. Um, And so now I'm coming out of that, like with the part-time job I have now that pays the bills. So the pressure's off to have to make money online. I can kind of do it as a fun thing and see where it goes. But some part of my mind just is not, because me saying it, it sounds like so easy, so peaceful, but for some reason, there's still a whole lot of conflict in there that just doesn't let me go forward.
Um, can I share something with you?
Sure.
Thank you for sharing. I feel like because I've experienced this a similar thing, and it's actually kind of how I came to this community, healing the artist within. It's like there's that pull. It could be the pull of an entrepreneur, it could be the pull of a creator. For me, I feel like it's a pull of the soul, the pull of the artist, which is why I named it Healing the Artist Within. I mean, you know, we can focus on all these technical things and whatnot and stuff, but really at the core of it, it's like who we are as the artist, as the creator, the person who wants to declutter, but also blog, who wants to YouTube, who wants to share. We are naturally creators, right? And we have the ability to. And although it does sound lovely to live a simple life, and then how long can we be there where that pull comes again because we're drawn to creating? So it's like honoring that part of us that, and that sound, it's really, when we boil it all down, it's the inner voice, that other voice, the voices of other people, the limiting beliefs. It's really the ego that just wants to like make not let us be free, right? When we get into that kind of conversation. And this is where a lot of my inner work lives, right? It's really identifying what part is speaking and wanting us to move in these directions. And I find anytime that we feel that pull, it's really, people have different ways of saying it. It's like the angel or the devil on the shoulders, right? Or the ego or the spirit, the good and the bad, or whatever. With my daughter, we called it a bunny, and or the dark bunny or whatever when she was little. And it's really that, that push and pull of like what the good wolf, the bad wolf, which one are we feeding? Because it's within us all the time. And so the voice, we can quiet it, we can hear it. It may never go away because it's a part of us. So I find that when we, and what you're already doing, which is amazing, is we're just allowing it to show up, we observe it, and then we carry on because we walk beside it, not away from it. And the more we resist something, the more it persists. As we evolve, that part of us evolves because we're one and the same. Yet we can witness it and observe it from,
Mhm.
a different perspective. So I think it's okay that that's coming up for you. And I think it's a good thing because it also gives you an opportunity every time. It's like, I actually choose this. I choose this. Is it bringing me joy? This continues to bring me joy, even though that might be simpler. It's kind of like the grass is greener on the other side. But how long will we be there? And we're like, oh, we got to go there. So it's like being able to walk with it, being gentle with ourselves, being patient. We don't have to, it's so good that you don't have that pressure right now because I also understand when the pressure's on financially, you bring that pressure to your work, right? And then it's not as enjoyable. So you're in a really good position right now to be able to just take your time and explore and allow the creative part of you to kind of like be free and see where that leads you and let that voice guide you, even while being aware of this other voice that might be pulling you. But
Right.
recognizing it and placing it and compartmentalizing it is actually a really, really, really good thing.
Yeah. Like even now, the dark bunny of me is sitting there going, you don't have time to go slow. You're getting old. You better get this figured out by the end of this year because
Yep.
you're going to expire before you know it. And it's
Yep.
like, come on, I'm
That's,
healthy.
that's
All the women in my line have been healthy. I got till at least 90, and but the dark bunny is there. Like,
yeah.
you're
Yeah.
too
And
old.
and it's gonna keep saying these things as we evolve because that's its role. Without that task, it doesn't have a purpose. So its purpose is to be that.
Yeah.
And so the fact that you just called it out, like that's amazing. That's the work, right? That we have to call it out at every turn. And it can become exhausting at times, but then we get used to it and becomes a part of brushing our teeth. It's just like reflecting in our moments of silence. We're just reflecting, reflecting, reflecting. That's what I call it. It's just reflecting and processing. All that never stops, even in our work, right? We're creating, then we reflect on the process. We create it, do all the things that we have to do, but then how did that go? How was the experience? Did I enjoy it? What was the outcome? What did I learn? What can I do different? How do I move forward from here? What can I take with me? What don't I want to take with me? We're always processing. So the more you call it out, the softer the dark bunny. I love that.
I do too. Like
Yeah.
you just took, I feel like again, how I shared in the community, like that you've been called to do this and there's a freedom for people who will just come into these things, and even if you don't say anything, just listen. But what just happened for me with the dark bunny thing is like that angst or those voices, like in my traditional Christian upbringing, I would have labeled those demons, like demons, which then makes it this huge thing. And like, I'm wearing demons and I gotta like, but you just took a whole history of demon fighting and turned it into a dark bunny and just way de-escalated it. I'm picturing now when these voices come up, oh, it's the dark bunny gallery. Like,
Yeah.
and so, yeah.
And it will take on different forms because it's smart like that. And it takes on forms of people that have been in your life because it's sneaky if it doesn't figure out one way. That's its whole purpose is to keep doing that. But the more you call it out every time, it's like, oh, okay. And it'll soften and it'll soften and it'll soften. And we give it power when we don't call it out, right?
Yeah.
When we're like, I want to hide from this. I don't like this voice. We get small and it gets big and it enjoys that. So then we stay small and live this, what's sold to us as a simple life, right? But yet, how are we settling? Because then there comes that question, are we just settling for this simple life, but then we're not truly happy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So keep calling it out at every turn. I still have to all the time. Like when I am singing, I'm diving into different level of singing for my journey, and I have to call it out every time. The same voices. I've been singing for so many years, and it goes, "Oh, you can't hit that note. Oh, you can't do that. Why would you think you could belt that?" It's just it can come in the tiniest ways, and we're like, "Oh yeah, right. How can I?" But then we're like, "But why not? Why can't I?" So we just change the intonation of the question. Why not? And with getting older, it's like with time and aging, I'm starting to move through that now, right? Like I have a lot of gray hairs. And so, and I'm not, I've had it since I was like late 20s. So it's like, and, we can kind of fall into the trap of that and the pressure. And it's okay to acknowledge the feelings, I think, because it comes up for me sometimes too. And I'm like, oh, but then I go, oh, okay, right. This is a part of the process. And then I just acknowledge that. It's like, oh, okay, I am getting old. There isn't a lot of time. So then what do I do about it? I'm going to actually do the things I want to do. I'm
Mhm.
actually going to maybe grow my hair out, or maybe I'll just dye it, like whatever, it doesn't matter. But as long as we acknowledge it and honor the truth of it coming up, we don't give it energy or power.
Mhm.
So, yeah, so keep calling it out at every turn, and then it will soften and hopefully it'll become less and less. But when it comes up, it doesn't debilitate, right? Because sometimes it can do that.
Mhm. Yeah.
What's going on for you?
Just feel at peace.
Nice. Healing too, just with injuries, it kind of gives us that opportunity to, oh, I have to take care of myself and slow down because there's no other way.
Mhm.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
Mhm.
Hi, Ben.
Hey, hey.
I'm just gonna unspotlight here. How are you, Ben?
Uh, Pretty good actually. Uh, yeah, I'm fine. I don't really have a question, I think. Just wanted to listen in. But I felt a bit triggered when I heard the topic about uh if you have this scarcity, financial scarcity, or how it's called. That's when you like, are you depending on it or not? Or do you have the financial freedom to do something where you don't know if it will make money or not? Uh, and it's interesting because I've been laid off and now I have two things. One thing is like, I mean, we talked about it. I have like a product for school that is mainly there to, yeah, I want to make money with it, basically. It's like this kind of business. And a second thing is I want to focus also more on my YouTube channel to long term, yeah, be this artist and creative and make video games, which is my professional. But if I want to make it uh, on my own, or if I want to in the long term get to the point to build a studio with employees and stuff, it's a long way, which doesn't guarantee me any finances. Yeah, so there's that. Like the long road uh, that is uncertain, and where I know it will probably not bring any money in the first time. And then there's the other thing that maybe will quite likely bring in money. Uh, and I try to balance it to not do one of it only, because I think I have to do both to reach my goal. If this makes sense.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned it triggered you. What was it triggering?
Yeah, the fear of uh, not feeling secured when I don't have money, basically. Like what it's called. Uh, I'm missing the word. It's like,
Stability?
yeah, stability, security, to have enough money to pay the bills and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, that's basically it. But it's also very interesting because there's so many things happened before that lead to this situation, and I think it's all meant to be. Like, isn't there a say? You probably will know it better than me. There's a saying, something like life doesn't always give you what you want, but what you need, or something like that.
Yes,
Mhm.
exactly.
And it feels exactly like that because it pushed me over the edge to quit being employed in a studio I didn't want to work anymore since a long time. because I was there for over 2 years, and I had the feeling that maybe the first half year was good for learning, but after that I didn't learn anything more, and it was just a drag and just draining. So it's even better that I got laid off instead of me going, because then I have some certain benefits financially a bit. But yeah, it still doesn't feel nice, of course. But on the other side, it's free. I feel freedom, and I feel good about it in a funny way. Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm. And I think you said this, but through what you just shared, but you enjoy the process of, I know there's two things you're doing right now. It's the room, right? The product, and then you have the community, right? Coaching others to develop their games.
Yeah, but the community, I think, is going. They're gonna not really cut it. They're gonna transform it, and I'm gonna align it more with the YouTube thing, because I was thinking using it more like a Patreon. Do you know Patreon?
I'm aware of it. I haven't used the platform
It's
myself.
basically getting, like, especially when, for example, you have a YouTube channel running, and if it's running good, then people usually set up a Patreon page where they give exclusive content, or maybe some early videos, or they basically include their audience more into the process, and therefore they get paid for it, basically, for the creations. And that is my idea to do with my YouTube channel, but instead I want to do it with a school community, because I think school community, a paid one, can be similar to a Patreon, but it has way more benefits. It has this back and forth communication with your audience that a Patreon doesn't have, because you cannot really contact the creator.
Mm-hmm.
And with school, you can have like calls with the people. You can ask them what they would like to see and stuff like that. So I think it's a nicer experience. Yeah. So that's what I want to try, instead of doing this. Okay, I'm gonna help game developers with their problems and this and that, because first of all, I think free communities can be really exhausting, and it's like a full-time job in itself.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem with free communities is people just don't feel any accountability to show up or to be active in the community, and I'm sick of it. I'm done with it. I don't know. Um, it feels also a little bit like I like to help people. I like to talk about problems, but at the same time, I don't feel like I'm only like I don't want to do full time this type of coaching, because I want mainly to create also, and I'm not just doing that. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so
And
there's
it'll
where
evolve. I've watched it evolve for you, and I think that's great. Is to just keep. We talked about this a bit too, right? Lisa Ann, is about allowing, staying open. You know, the triggers will happen because it's the same fear, right? It's the ego. It's just the same voice, and it all shares different things that hit us personally the hardest because it knows us so well. But if we continue to acknowledge it, which you did, you just called it out, right? And it's a trigger. And then you allow the journey to just be open and you continue to explore. Who knew that you'd have created a product, you know, a few months down the road after first meeting you, that it could be implemented into any community? Who knows
I
where that will
didn't
go, right?
I didn't plan that.
Yeah. And this came out of you just keep trusting the process. It just reminded me of a situation I met a long time ago, a very young director. I worked on his film, and we were talking about the project, and he said it was his first film, and he said, "Yeah, if this doesn't work, I'm going to quit." And I was like, "Whoa, this is one project. This is your first project. I don't expect anything from it, right? No one knows you. You've never done this before. Like it's a huge feat for him to have done that, but to then give up and give him that himself that limitation was that was hard to see. And I don't know if he went on to create anything else, but you have to just keep going, right? That's the thing. It's like you just got to keep going. Even with working out, I think exercising is one of the best analogies for everything because it's so visually um, tangible. And, it's just like if you don't keep showing up, you're not going to get results. You just have to keep going, no matter. It's about the input, right? And so you just got to keep going and see where it takes you. And so I think you're doing great, Ben. And I love that you have these other ideas with Patreon for you and this, you just want to create, knowing that that's what you want to do. Um, besides building a community, that's huge. Not everyone's cut out to do it. And I've seen a lot of people actually that we started with building communities together. They've kind of went in a different direction, which is great for them because they learned what they wanted to put their energy into. And I constantly ask myself is like, how do I want to shape this? How does this fit into my world? Am I overextending myself? These are questions that we always have to ask ourselves. So knowing that you want to create is a really good place to be because then everything that you do, you can ask yourself that question, does this fit into like me being able to create, or am I overextending my abilities and efforts in an area that's pulling away from the creator inside me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's funny. I mean, how long are you on school now? Uh, quite a
Me
time,
or you?
right? You.
Last October. I think we met right when I started.
Yeah, I joined something around, I don't remember, June, July maybe. July, I think, something like that. And yeah, it's been quite a time, and I saw also so many community owner also like going away from school or quitting or yeah. Because I see it, I had this problem that I just joined too many communities, if you remember, like to
Yes.
have too many different impulses and coaches and whatnot. And I see when I go through my list now, I see, I don't know, let's say I joined 40 communities or something, and now there's only 20. Because so many has been, yeah, deciding to do something different or
Wow.
quitting or something.
Yeah. I feel like we all kind of experienced that in the beginning of school. I don't know how long you guys, I'd love to know how long have you guys all been in school? Hi, Robbie. You're muted in case you were trying to talk because I
Hi,
see your mouth
Robbie.
moving. Or maybe he's in a call. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe he's on a call. Lisa Ann, how long have you been in school?
There was a couple of people whose email lists I was on. Evelyn was one of them, and there was another woman, and I got on school from that other first woman, and I didn't realize then like it was a platform with other things. I thought this was just like her container thing. And
Oh,
then and then it wasn't real active, so I didn't explore it much. Then Evelyn's group, I knew because I had been a part of the membership from like way, way back when. And when she switched to school, I like signed up for it, but never actually went and looked at it. And then it was probably like around October of this last
oh,
year that she started talking about the school, winning the games and all that. And I thought, yeah, I'll switch platforms to so she can win something. And then I still didn't explore it until probably November, late October. And then that's when I'm like, this is a whole platform. There's all kinds of groups. And now I'm like in a group for every interest that I have. And I've had to like ignore some and weed some out or whatever. And yes, so there seemed to have been a frenzy around October. And now it's leveling out.
yeah, that was when the school games were on fire and there was the October madness or something. I got pulled right into that.
It was chaos. It
It
was
was,
chaos.
Robbie. That's when we met too. I think I met Ben a bit before. Robbie, how long have you been on school?
I maybe May, something like
Okay.
that. About a
Yeah,
year.
you're the
Uh,
veteran in this group today.
yeah, but I only started my community in like January. I was
Wait,
more so.
Robbie,
Say again?
Robbie, did you join when Kai won the school games? Do you know that?
I think it was a bit after, but funny enough, Kai made a thumbnail for me live on his channel. It just went up. He posted like an hour and a half long video. I gotta go watch that. I'm starting a new, very ambitious series that I've talked to Elfina about months ago. It's gonna kick my ass, but it's also gonna be my legacy. So yeah, I'm excited to get that started. But yeah, Kai made a potential first thumbnail for it, which I like his idea for it, his concept, but he didn't have like access to like better pictures. So I'm gonna take his concept and probably plug in a better picture. But he had a cool title for the first one. It was like, I don't know, it was like
I think I
how
saw
to
it.
become a global performer, part one, some shit. I'm like, ooh, that's a
Because
cool
you're in
title.
Harrods Group,
Fucking
right?
go.
You're in Harrods Group, right? Right? I think I
Oh
saw you.
yeah. So Harut's
Harrods.
Call was a big reason why I won
Yeah.
school games, the first quarterly school games for music, because Harut had a frickin' I did a call with him, and he just like gave me so much heat. He was like, "Oh yeah, do this, do that, do this, do this." Like you do. He first asked me, he was like, "Robbie, I need to know before we start this call, like, is your goal to win the school games or have a successful, sustainable community? Because those are two different things." And I was like, I want to win school games. I want to meet Alex Ramosi. I want a free plane ticket to LA. He's like, okay, because that changes the direction of this call. So we went all in, and he gave me, I did about like 28, 30% of what he said. And like I was in the top 5, 30. If I did everything he said, I would have got number one.
Wow.
But
What were
yeah,
the things he said?
oh, he's just having me go. He's like, you have no time for cold. You have no time for organic. You need to go completely warm network. People that have kissed you on the mouth, people that have touched you on the hand, people that you've seen in person. That you need to call everyone.
Oh, wow. So reaching out. Basically what Alex Ramosi had said in the very beginning. He had said, like, that's your warm list. Everyone in your phone. Your
Speaking of
contact.
Alex Ramosi, he didn't fucking show up.
To
So
the school games?
as I was in LA, I get the text, oh, sorry, I got the flu, shot up to 104. You know, usually I'm one to power through and blah, blah, blah. But, yep, can't make it. Guess you got to win again, fatty. Told us all to win again.
Oh, that's unfortunate. But how was the experience overall?
It was incredible. Oh, man. I got so many nuggets from Sam. I chatted to Sam for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. I had a beer with him. It was glorious.
Nice.
And he had a very artistic mindset. He was like, well, what do you want to make? Just make that. Like, what would you want to hear? Just make that. Which is so different from like the Max Persons of the world that are just like, find what works and copy it.
Mhm.
Just
Mhm.
like, just piggyback off someone else's business. Why are you trying to innovate? Shut up. Just do what works. But yeah, Sam Ovens had a very artistic mindset about it, which is really cool. And I'm kind of leaning more into that whole like make art, not content type vibe. There's also a really cool podcast called Make Art, Not Content, which has been really, really eye opening. But yeah, Sam Ovens was like it was a trip and a half. He's hilarious. And I did get on a Zoom call with Hormozy, and I did ask him, you know, one of the questions that, you know, bogs down a lot of us creator, educator types. I actually asked him once and for all, like, oh, you know, I got this artistic thing going on. I create and also I educate. I help people play instruments and this and that. And he was like, yeah, man, just keep it all on one account. You know, people follow Joe Rogan for different reasons. He talks about elk, talks about aliens, talks about fighting, stand-up comedy. You know, people will resonate with different things. Just keep it all on one account. So I love because when other people, there's still a bunch of other lovingly, we'll call them fuckbags in the space that are like, oh, you need an account for your DJing, an account for your teaching, an account for your original music. Um, I just say, Alex Ramosi told me I don't have to deal with all that. So
No, I love it. I love that. And there's a mindset, right, to the whole model someone who works and create what you want. It's really follow the money or follow your soul. And which one is going to allow you to sleep at night? And when our time comes, it's like, did I do what I wanted to do? And we had chatted a bit about this, right, Lisa, earlier. It's like, what the creator, the artist, the soul, our intuition, where does that pull us? Because if you're following your heart and your soul, the money will come. Um, what's that artist name? Oh my gosh, he's really like poppy. He sang in Captain Underpants and Grammar. He has that great song about like chasing the money. I gotta find it for you, Robbie. I love it. And it's just it's I'll send it to you guys. It's about like I don't want to, look back and realize like I was chasing the money. You got to go where the heart is, right? And it's true. You just got to create. And you'll find the right people too, because that's going to be your audience that you're going to vibe with. That's who you're going to connect with. That's who you're going to want to talk to and connect with. But if you're trying to model something that works and you're capturing that audience, it's like it's already there, right? Feel like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you got to build yours. People need something new and fresh. It's like the film industry, like how many more remakes are they going to do?
Right.
It's like we watched all the movies in our time, and now they're just the next generation of it. And so my daughter's like, "Oh, I'm like, this is old. You got to watch the original." Like 2 generations like ago, right? Not even 2 generations, but like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
awesome. Yeah. And about doing it all in one place, I love that too. This week, I don't know if you guys, I'm going to be sending out some emails this week that's more based on the business side of things. I've been, that's a big part of my life, but I shared a video about like the workflow and I got so many questions about it. I was like, I'm just going to share some of this. And even Evelyn says too, she's like, some people started asking her for marriage advice. She's like, this isn't what I, this isn't what I do. I'm teaching people how to do ads, but we're not just one dimensional. So Lisa Ann and I were talking earlier before you jumped on, Robbie, and I don't know if you were here, Ben, but it's like, she wants to declutter her garage and there's this great content for decluttering, but yet
Right.
here's her internal landscape and all the things that are going on. Why can't you do both? Why can't you share that while you're doing this? Who wouldn't want to listen to that? Right. And Ben, for you too, like who knows how all the skill sets that you acquired starting a community, how that's going to, accent and supplement the creations that you're going to create from here.
I will definitely use the experience since I want to continue. Like, I don't close the community, I want to continue it, but just in a totally different way. But still, all the experience I gathered, it will help definitely. But I'm so glad I joined this call because I can so relate. Like, when Robbie was talking, I had like immediately 3 different questions. Like, putting all on one channel is a very interesting topic, for example, because I know so many, especially YouTubers, who are creating like 3 channels for this thing and that thing and the third thing or whatever. And I already had the idea to combine 2 of my passions. One is to do rap, and the other is to do game development. And I was thinking about combining it. And then I always hesitated with it, and I was like, "Oh, what if the people don't like it?" And I don't know. Game developers are usually more like the introverts, and they usually don't like this type of music, and this and that, and all those different mind blockages. But in the end, I think it's a part of me, and I think I will just go for it. And especially because I didn't see anyone else doing it yet, so maybe that's something cool and unique.
I will share this that in the beginning, because I do have one social media account that's all more fan based, and it would be harder to treat them as like leads, I guess, because the interest level is different. I would say that when you want to do multiple things that are very diverse, it's important that people know you for one thing first, because then they get to know you behind that thing. So, like, Robbie's known as a musician, right? So then there's all these things. But once you know this is who you are, then they're like, what else do you do? But I think when you're coming out of the gate, be mindful not to be too spread out because, and I've experienced this, is like, well, what do you do? But the question you want them to ask is, what else do you do? Not what do you do? Because if they don't know what you do, then it might create confusion and they're uncertain, if that makes sense.
Yes. Can I give a specific example? Maybe that makes it more more visual. Like I don't want to just create content. I also, maybe it's because I'm writing lyrics and stuff. I want to also stand for something and put out kind of statements, not just art for the sake of art or something. And my idea is, for example, just to yeah, like one example is, since I've been laid off, and I know it's such a common thing right now, not like in the tech industry and in general with all the laid off, but especially in game development, so many people are being laid off because of AI and stuff. And my idea was to, for example, make like a funny video, because I know like my current company is quite slow and they lack the vision and stuff. And I wanted to, for example, make a video, can one game developer make a better game than an entire studio? For example, this kind of thing. And connected to that in some way, I was thinking to make like a song that is where the theme is this whole being laid off thing, for example, that a lot of people can connect with it and relate to it because it's just happening so much, and there are so many people that are kind of angry and not happy with those bigger tech companies that are a lot of lacking vision, and they are bringing out bad products instead of trying to make a risk and to innovate and to be creative. So I think that aligns quite well, and it would be like I put it out as a typical video with how I work on my stuff and kind of prove that I'm good at it and maybe better or whatever. And the other thing is just a different channel how I transform the same message more or less through music.
So same channel, different playlist,
Mm,
or different? Because I thought you were talking about having it all in one place.
all on one all on one channel, but just a different form of video, right? Because one is
Yeah.
like a music song, it's basically a song, and the other one is a kind of tutorial or whatever video.
I think that's totally doable. And I think it's great that when you're the statement and taking the position where you are a sole game developer, can you do it better than a studio? There's all these aspects to it that, because I see it like the film studios versus the filmmakers, right? Independent film. And it's the
Mhm.
same thing. There's things that you can do that a studio can't do, and you can do it quicker and faster and without all the restrictions. And people are loving to follow the journey, right? And so by creating that video, people will get to know who you are. That's what you're doing. And then anything else you create is supplementary to that, that supports it. I think that could totally work for you.
Yeah.
And then the community's there too. If they wanted to connect with you, that's where you are, right? Because then there's the two-way street versus the
Yeah,
one way.
exactly. And the idea is basically that I think it's two different types of video where people can decide, okay, I can connect with this or with that, but the message and the direction is basically the same.
Just for time-wise and effort-wise,
Yeah,
the videos would take a lot less time to create to get more of you out there faster than the music. Music takes more time,
of course.
obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. Hey, Lisa Ann, have you started a YouTube channel yet? Or
No,
you just have the domain? You have the domain ready.
I have a domain. Yeah. I actually had like 10 articles on it, blog articles, and then
Okay.
it's not out there right now. It's
And
funny. One of the articles, I used a visual with a girl with an angel and devil on each shoulder
oh, really? That's so funny.
for the subject I was talking about.
Yeah, that's awesome. Where do you plan to put them? Are you going to create a website?
I am, yes, and I am fairly soon. I got tired of messing with WordPress. I had played with WordPress for years and like I can make something with it, but because I want to expand to like sell things and have community, I didn't want to have to piece together that on WordPress with all the plugins and me worrying about my own security stuff. So I ditched WordPress, but I want to do a website somewhere, maybe an all-in-one platform, that
Yeah,
kind of thing.
GHL is what I use. There's a I don't know if you got my email. There's a free workshop next week for GHL. And they'll give you a snapshot. You probably don't need the lead generation, but that's what I use too. I built my entire website on there. I built 2 websites on there. It's pretty great. And you also have your email campaign. It's basically everything in one place. I've used WordPress before. I have a platform on Webflow, which is probably the most intricate website building platform. We have designers for that one. And then there's the basic ones, right? Like Squarespace and those Wix and Weeple. I don't know if those are still around, but yeah, it might be worth getting it up soon. Were you the one that also mentioned GoDaddy as the website that you were working with, or was that?
No, I never
Okay.
liked them. I do have a 1-year free group account that I could create a website on just to have something somewhere.
Yeah.
Because I'm just not wanting to spend $100 a month right now
Yes,
for anything
for
like
sure.
that.
Yeah. Something simple, and then you could link your videos to your, because it's all embedding, so you don't need a lot of hosting. So wherever you can, that might be a good next step since you already have content, and then it's just a little something you can do when you're not recording right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I should play around with group and get it up. It's not going to be anything complicated, so if I end up on a different platform, it won't be
Yeah.
a big deal to move stuff.
Perfect. Yeah. So 5 blogs. You have 5 blogs ready to go?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Should we make that a goal for this week?
Let's see, what day is it? It's the 14th. I could say by the end of May.
End of May. Yeah, that's good. Okay, end of May, you'll have a landing page with your blogs, and maybe you'll even have a short. I feel like you're coming on Friday. Maybe we can even record something that you can have a short.
Yeah, I'll be there Friday.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Are you going to be filming on your phone?
Yeah, that's what I'm using right now.
Okay. It's possible we could get a short for you up for your YouTube channel too.
See,
No
my
pressure.
thought on a YouTube channel is don't start the channel until like you know you're going to post something regularly, and if people start watching it, then you're going to have new things coming on like once or twice a week. And so until I have like enough stuff to do that, I wasn't going to start the YouTube channel until like I have something to send people to. Like I have a website where I'm collecting emails for an email address. So right now it was just more like I'm fine building the website and I'm fine creating film and learning how to edit it enough to have a few videos ready to go. Then I'll start a channel. But I don't just want to have a channel with like one random short and then no ecosystem whatsoever to do anything with people that it might attract, because it might attract people like my people. I want to have something, even if it's basic, where I can collect emails and I can have something that they're doing.
Have you created a channel yet, or it's not there, or it
No,
is?
it's not there. I have no channel with no name or anything like that.
Yeah. You could also just create it so it's there with nothing on it, and it still takes time for the algorithm. So you could do it either way, whatever feels good for you. I don't think there's anything wrong with slowly putting things up either, because then you get the hang of it versus doing it all at once. Batching content is very helpful. That's what it sounds like you want to do. But if you want to familiarize yourself with the process, you could totally do that without having anything up as well.
Okay. Just
Yeah.
make it all unlisted.
Yep. Yep. You can totally make it private. And then when you're ready to go, boop, 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 boop. So then it doesn't feel like you have so much to do all at one time, because posting consistently can get exhausting if it's a new skill, for sure.
I feel like Dark Bunny could agree to that.
Which part? Which agree to which
The
part?
part of we'll just play around with some unlisted stuff just so I can be familiar with how a channel works and
Okay. We'll slowly find our way. It's good. I think it's progress for sure. Okay, awesome. Anything else from you guys today, this week? How's your guys' week going overall? I know Lisa Ann had a bit of a spill.
Rushing through. Yeah, trying to be more active on the channels. Did a 2 days ago, released a YouTube video and did like a 2.5 hour live stream. Today released a Instagram reel. Looking to
Nice.
release more YouTube videos and reels. Trying to keep the train moving.
Awesome. Awesome. So you're just creating content, lots of it?
Yeah, I'm focusing on figuring out content before I do another community push because I want to figure out how to be a prolific son of a bitch before I before I pretend I can show people the way to do the same.
Mm, nice. Are you still doing long form on YouTube?
Oh yeah. So I did my first reaction last week. It did pretty well. Got like 5,000 views, 140 comments,
Nice.
and I did like a live stream, like responding to all their comments on the live stream. That was cool, chatting to them for like 2.5 hours, and then put out another video. But yeah, moving along, and then starting a new series on Sunday, which I'm excited about. Trying to do like every Sunday. It's more like artistic series about, documenting the journey essentially.
The journey, following the journey.
It's called Finding Phase 2.
Nice.
Phase 1, local musicians grinding it out. Phase 3 is a world tour. So we're finding that ever elusive Phase 2, what it takes to kind of get to that next level.
Cool. Very cool. That is like a following the journey.
Yeah, it's gonna be a whole thing. Like, there'll be time travel, teleportation, women, failure, marketing,
All of
brand
it.
deals, gigs, planes, travel, death, love, taxes. Yeah, it'll be a whole thing.
Very cool. Hey, I actually have something to share with you guys. This is just like a proof that sometimes things can be built and there, and then you don't know what's going to happen. I released 4 singles on iTunes, Spotify, et cetera, to 2020. It's like 4 years. So 2020, 2021, 2022. I didn't really promote it. It's not with a record label or anything, just self-released. And last week, 2 weeks ago, I had like, you get listeners, like reports. I had like 7 listeners, some in my active listeners. Last week, it went up by 500% in 7 days all around the world. And I don't even, I have to make a post about this because I think it's so, like, I was just sitting there looking at this data. I'm like, is this for real? Like, people are listening in these countries and like places I don't even know. And it was up by 500%. Robbie, when someone's listening to your music, you're just like, what? It's out there. I've done nothing. And so
Yeah.
it's just sometimes we just have to create it. It's that old saying, right? Build it and they'll come. Who knows what'll happen? But sometimes you just build it. And Lisa Ann, even your YouTube channel, it might not, when you put everything out there, it'll attract the people, but it might still take time. So it's okay for you to take your time to slowly put things up as well. And who knows what'll happen. But if we're following our passion, right? Like who knows where it'll take us. So that was what happened like on Sunday, I think Mother's Day.
That's
That's
exciting.
crazy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you. And Ben, just to check in with your DMs to the community owners for your product.
Yeah,
How's that going?
I stopped. I stopped because I felt like there's still like 1 or 2 parts missing for the product to be visual interesting or visible, and I noticed that when I send out only text, I don't get so much replies. So I was thinking I want to try to do it with a screenshot or GIFs or whatever, something that is showing it. But therefore I need to first finish it. to be.
Why don't we try one? We can try one in my community if you want, and then record it and then use that to share it so people can see what it's like.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That would be
Let's
great.
figure that out. Let's do
If
it.
that's possible.
Yeah, message
Yeah,
me. We'll figure that out.
Robbie, about the looms, the problem is all the business people I asked always told me don't send looms to busy community owners. They don't have time to watch looms. But I didn't try it, so on the other side. Yeah.
I just saw your message, Ben, about having the fear of too big goals.
Especially after Robbie just mentioned his plans with World Tour and this and that, and
I'm just
yeah.
gonna zoom out, zoom right out. So big goals, right? They're just made up of a bazillion little goals. So a part of
Mm-hmm.
that process is the ability to like see that, but then let it go and come right back to what's here. So right here, right now, let's focus on that product. Let's message me. Let's set it up in my community, jump on a call, record it, and take snippets of that to as visuals to message the people that you want to connect with. That's the goal
That
right now.
would be amazing, yeah. Step by
Yeah.
step.
Yeah. And it's okay it's kind of like compartmentalizing the dark bunny. It's like the big goal is there. We're going to leave it there and we know it's there, but we're not going to give it our attention because if we give it our attention, we're ignoring all the things that need us right here. That's right in front of us. Right?
Yeah, that makes sense. The dark bunny is strong today.
Yeah. I threw out a bunch of words. That was the one that stuck. So awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank
It was
you.
really nice to connect with you all today. I
Thank you.
appreciate your
Yeah,
time
thank
and
you.
your presence and all the sharing of the process. We're all in it. We're all on the path.
Goodbye.